Hello guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. I am so excited to film this one. I basically got thinking and I was like, oh, I haven't done a Disney video in a very long time. And then I decided that I really wanted to analyse the fan theories that people have come up with and say if I agree with them, if I didn't agree with them, and see how it went. So let's start. First off, I just want to claim that none of these fan theories have been made by myself. I've just googled them and found them on the internet. I would suggest though that a YouTube channel called Super Carlin Brothers do the most amazing Disney fan theories ever. They discuss them in so much detail. It's so much fun. I will link their channel down below. So the first fan theory, which has been going around a lot recently and apparently has just been confirmed by Disney producers of Frozen, is the fact that Frozen's Elsa and Anna are actually brothers, brother and sister with Tarzan. So basically the storyline is that Anna and Elsa's parents tragically die in a shipwreck. However, apparently they managed to escape from the ship when it's in the storm, and then they land on the island where Tarzan is, and they produce Tarzan. I'm not really saying that in enough sense. So yeah, Anna and Elsa's parents are also Tarzan's parents. Now, whilst this has been confirmed by Disney people, I'm not too keen on it. And that is basically because, one, they show you, obviously you see Elsa and Anna's parents in the film, and you also see a bit of Tarzan's parents at the beginning of the film, and they don't look alike. I don't want to ruin anyone's hopes and dreams, but come on. The dad looks slightly alike, but the mum definitely does not. I also don't really want to associate those two films together without trying to be horrible, but I don't know, I just think some films are left better unrelated. But yeah, I don't really agree with that theory itself. However, there are also other theories surrounding Frozen linked to other Disney films. The second one is that in the Coronation Day song, for the first time in forever, that Anna sings, as she runs out the castle, you can see Tangles, Rapunzel and Flynn walking in. Now that is definitely a confirmed theory, and basically the whole idea is that a couple of people are saying that Anna and Elsa are Rapunzel's cousins, but I like to think that they're just sort of two different teams of royalty visiting each other for, important events. So yes, I definitely think that's a really good fan theory. The third fan theory that I love as well, or not love because it's actually quite sad, but I like to think that the shipwreck in The Little Mermaid is the ship that unfortunately Anna and Elsa's parents died on. Obviously, I don't really know how many other shipwrecks there are in other Disney films, but that one is also quite well known that the shipwreck is just the one in Ariel's film. It's linked a lot to Frozen. One of my favourite fan theories ever, it's so good, is the fact that Jane from Tarzan is the granddaughter or a descendant of Belle from Beauty and the Beast. I absolutely love this fan theory so much. This one, again, was talked about by the Super Carlin Brothers to go into more detail, but basically, so Beauty and the Beast takes place in about the late 1700s, maybe early 1800s, but more likely 1700s, and Tarzan takes place when Queen Victoria is alive, so I'm not too sure at what point in her reign that was, but I believe she reigned from 1820 something to 1901. So that's quite a long time scale, but it also still fits in that she is highly likely to be related to Belle from Beauty and the Beast. So basically in Tarzan, the main thing is that you see the teapot, Mrs. Potts and Chip in the camp, in the human camp. It just shows them that they're there. They don't have the faces, but they're just there, and I just think I love that one a lot. And also people like to say that, Jane is quite similar to Belle in the fact that they both wear yellow outfits, and Jane's also quite an adventurous person who wants to see the world, and Belle obviously was quite like that in the film as well. So a lot of instincts have been down the gene line. So yeah, I think that's a great fan theory and I really do agree with that one. Another one from Beauty and the Beast, which again is a bit of a puzzler, and it's another new theory that's just been put up by the Super Carlin Bros, is the book that Belle reads in her song Belle at the beginning of the film. So basically, Belle was in the bookshop talking to the bookman, and she speaks about why she wants to borrow this book again. She says, far off places, daring sword fights, magic spells, and a prince in disguise. Now, if that isn't Aladdin, I don't know what is. So basically Disney like to hint a lot of their upcoming films in the films when they come out. And Beauty and the Beast came out in 1991, and then Aladdin came out in 1992. So already that's a really good thing. Basically the debate is really, is she referring to what's going to happen in her own film, or is it Aladdin? So let's compare the two. So far off places, you have Agrabah, which is really far off from France, even though Agrabah is not, it's a made up country, but obviously it's not the same as France. And then you have far off places in Belle's film, which technically is only the Beast's castle, and that can be reached by horse. So not too keen on that one, and really quickly as well, because Belle does make it back very quickly to her village to save her father. Far off places, daring sword fights. There's a lot of swords in Aladdin, so that's definitely one. In Beauty and the Beast, Gaston at the end just tries to kill Beast with a dagger, so a dagger's not a sword. Magic spells, the genie, magic spells. I mean, there's a lot of magic spells in Beauty and the Beast, obviously, like the changing of the people into objects and the rose. So, you know, that one could work. And a prince in disguise. Now, again, this both works for both films. Obviously, you have Aladdin, who disguises himself as Prince Ali, and then you have the Beast, who is a prince, but unfortunately he has a spell on him. So basically, I like to say it's Aladdin. You can, without evidence, decide for yourselves, but yeah, Aladdin all the way for me. Okay, this one is a Pixar film. It's Toy Story, and basically the theory is that in Toy Story 2 we see Jessie's story of how she was loved by a little girl, and then as the girl got older, obviously she grew out of love with Jessie, and the theory is that Andy's mum was Jessie's original owner. Now that can blow some people's minds right out of the water. So obviously you could say that that's true, because obviously Andy has a cowboy, so Andy's mum could have got one so that he could have the same as when she was younger. And yeah, but I'm not too sure. I mean, there's a lot of stuff wrong with this theory. Like, two main things, like Andy in the end of Toy Story 2 does take Jessie home, and obviously Jessie remains a part of the Toy Story gang. But Andy's mum isn't really seen mentioning anything about her having the same doll when she was younger or anything like that. So personally, I think if she had a Jessie doll, she definitely would have said. And also, in the backstory of Jessie's thing, she, like, as the girl gets older, it gets more like technology stuff and like makeup and stuff. And I'm not sure when Toy Story is set. It could be set in the future, in the present, when it, you know, came out in the 90s. But I don't think that when Andy's mum was younger, which I'm guessing was around 20 to 25 years at the time we're seeing Andy, that she would have had the same stuff that this girl had in the video. And I can't really remember what was in it. I think it was just like makeup and boy bands and stuff, but it was like not really what you would expect a person to have back when Andy's mum was younger. So I'm not too sure on that theory either. It's a nice one, but just not too sure. And the last one features, again, one of my favourite Disney films, and it is the fact that Ariel and Hercules potentially are first cousins. Now, first cousins, second cousins. I think it depends on what country you're from. I think it's second cousins here actually, so bear with me. So basically you have Zeus, who is Hercules' father, and his brother in Greek mythology is meant to be Poseidon. Okay, and I didn't even know this, but you do actually see Poseidon in the, like, as one of the gods in, I forgot what it's called. Mount Olympus? Mount Olympus. One of the gods in Mount Olympus. And, yeah, so Zeus and Poseidon are brothers. Now, in Greek mythology, Poseidon's son is meant to be Triton, and King Triton is Ariel's father in The Little Mermaid. So, Hercules is Zeus's son, Ariel is Triton's daughter. Technically, they're meant to be second cousins. Now, I literally think that is the craziest theory ever, but I bloody love it. I think it's so good. Obviously, they're both set in very different time zones. I think like Little Mermaid's set around the like 1800s, 1700s, 1600s, whenever. And Hercules is set in like Greek times, so it's a bit weird, but then I guess in the land of gods and stuff, it's like anything goes. So yeah, I think that's another great theory, and I would love to believe that's true, because sometimes, you know, families are very big. You don't really know who the second cousins are, so that might just be why they weren't mentioned in the film at the time. Okay, so that's it for now. I'm sorry about explaining the first one at the beginning. I'm so bad with words sometimes. But yes, if you understand them, that's great. I can leave links to websites below which have mentioned them. I literally, you guys know how much I love Disney, and I love facts. So Disney, fan theories, where are the facts? That's what I say. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see another one of these, I'm pretty sure there are hundreds of Disney fan theories I can look up and talk about. But yes, have a lovely day. Bye!